Now, in this book, he speaks on his support for an assault rifle ban. He goes on Meet the Press on his book tour or whatever. They ask him if he's for a partial birth abortion ban, and he says, I quote, "My pro-choice instincts lead me to say no." So right there we can see we've got two fairly liberal ideologies that he's already supporting in 2000. So they also go on to ask him about socialized medicine. He says, we as a nation need to re-examine the single-payer plan. There again, we got another very liberal stance that he's taking. And in his book, he mentioned something about redistribution. He is for a one-time 14.5% tax on individuals and trusts earning over $10 million. So this is our Republican candidate for assault rifle bans at one point. Supports partial birth abortion, supports single-payer socialized medicine, and he supports redistribution of wealth. So we'll skip ahead a little bit more. Just a fun fact I'll throw out real quick. In 2001, Trump completed his Trump Tower across from the UN headquarters, so a very convenient place to be. We'll come into more modern day. We're getting into, here we are, 2014, I believe December of 2014. Al Sharpton is referred to as a professional con man who gets away with murder by Donald Trump. Then this past July, which seems super convenient, Sharpton does a segment on his show revealing Trump is a Democrat. Now, in my opinion, I think the whole point of even putting that out there is most Republicans cannot stand Al Sharpton. I mean, most people, I think, find him generally despicable. But, you know, now if you're out there and you're saying, well, Trump's a Democrat, he's had all these liberal views, well, now you agree with Al Sharpton. So it's also a good case. We all know that Al Sharpton has worked for the FBI, has done informant work. Based on a lot of the stuff I've read, I believe he's done it. He's consistently been an FBI informant, and he's never stopped. So, along the same time that Sharpton does his little expose on Trump, we have Trump and El Chapo getting into a Twitter war. So El Chapo is the mafia kingpin who broke out of prison through a mile-long tunnel in Mexico, if we're to believe that. Now I'm going to quote a tweet that Trump sent to El Chapo. You'll have to pardon my language. This is his word, it's not mine. So he says, I quote, "Keep bothering me, and I'll make you swallow all of your bitch words, you fucking blonde milk shitter." So first off, I don't even know what that means exactly, but they get into a back and forth. They're tweeting back and forth to each other, and then it's reported that 5 days after this first initial contact where Trump sends a tweet to him, Trump once again contacts the FBI to let them know. So that's super interesting, especially considering now there are documents that have been released revealing at least our government knew that El Chapo had several escape plans in the mix immediately after his capture. So I think we all find it pretty easy to believe that somebody would have had to know a mile-long tunnel was being built directly into his cell to get him out. Mexico's corrupt, but they can't be that stupid. So I think that brings us, let's get into this Trump-Epstein connection. Press Reset touched on this a lot. I'm going to throw out a quote out there, throw some other names that are tied in with this guy, and like I said, just kind of continue the narrative here. Trump has had his name circled in Jeffrey Epstein's little black book that was turned over to the police by Epstein's butler. His name was, out of hundreds of names, you can look the book up on Document Cloud, out of hundreds of phone numbers in there, there were a few names that were circled. And the butler said these people were material witnesses that either saw child abuse firsthand or participated in the crimes. So we've got Trump's name circled in this book. We've got Courtney Love's name circled in this book, who has CIA connections from the way back. Ehud Barak, the former Prime Minister of Israel, Alan Dershowitz, Leslie Wexner, who started Limited Brands, Lane Bryant, Bath & Body Works, Abercrombie & Fitch, all that garbage. We've got Bruce King and Bill Richardson, both former governors in New Mexico, where Epstein has a gigantic ranch. I think it's the biggest private property in the state. Peter Soros, the nephew of George Soros, and Ghislaine Maxwell, daughter of former Mossad agent who was killed by Iraqis for spying for Israel. Ghislaine Maxwell is also a close confidant of Prince Andrew, who's tied in with this Epstein character, and I think it's pretty well established at this fact that he's a sick pedo. I'm going to give you a quote that Trump had about Epstein. To me, this just blows my mind. He says, in quote, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's fun to be with. It's been said he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it. Jeffrey loves his social life." So that just strikes me as creepy. He's known him for 15 years, thinks he's a terrific guy. Now this guy is a convicted child molester. His sentence is actually being appealed in federal court right now by the victims because he got off so easy. I'm going to do a whole nother video segment on that. Let's get into the Clinton connection here. Clinton and Epstein have been connected. Clinton shared at least 11 flights with Maxwell and Epstein, including flights to Africa, to on his Lolita Express, to his pedo island in the Caribbean. Trump has donated to the Clintons. Clintons have attended Trump's daughter's wedding. Trump addressed that now by saying, when I tell people to go somewhere, they go. Nobody tells the Clintons to do things that don't benefit the Clintons, is my opinion. So we can just already see how this weird marriage of pedo connections is starting to play out coming up to the election. So why is this important? Well, first, nobody's talking about Hillary's hidden email servers. I know she said she released several tens of thousands of documents, which are half of the purported emails. I know we'd all be interested to see what the rest of them said, which I'm sure we'll never find out. Nobody's talking about Benghazi, now that the Innocence of Muslims video has been blown out of the water as a complete hoax. And nobody's talking about Clinton's stances at all on anything. She's the only Democratic candidate that voted for the Iraq War. So she's kind of just going along, doing her thing. Donald Trump is controlling the whole show, controlling the whole narrative. And now we have him. He made his immigration comments, which a lot of people weren't bothered by. A lot of people said, oh, he's just saying what we're afraid to say. Maybe that's the case. I don't think so. Now we have him making comments about Megyn Kelly, who is an idiot, don't get me wrong, but he's making period jokes at her. So we can just see this dude is not seriously running for president. And he also said in the election that he will likely run, or during the debate, excuse me, that he will likely run against the Republican nominee if it's not him. So he's promising to split the Republican vote right off the bat. One final thing I'll throw out there, this may have less to do with this theme than any of it. I just found it super interesting. There's a place called the Learning Annex that was founded by Bill Zanker. It's a continuing adult education center is how they bill it. They do classes in LA, New York City, and such. Donald Trump has taught classes for them. He's got paid $1.5 million per hour of class he's taught. They do offer a lot of courses in real estate and investment and finance and such, but they also offer some really, I would just say, bizarre courses. I'll just read just a few of them, just to give you an idea, the kind of things that go on at the school, and then I'll give you just a couple of the speakers who have also participated there. Some of the classes they have: how to make contact with lost loved ones, how to shoot your own live adult video, because somebody would need a class on how to do that, I suppose. How to create magic spells, how to discover past lives, and Kabbalah dating. So, you know, I tend to think a lot of pedo behavior is not sex magic like a lot of people would like to think it is, and it's more likely just sickos that are able to get away with it, getting away with it. But when you hear things like that, I mean, I definitely couldn't rule it out as a possibility. Other people who spoke there besides Trump, you've got wonderful Al Gore. We've got Rudy Giuliani, who has just kind of been tied in with intelligence throughout his whole career. You've got Alan Greenspan, who we all know and love as the former Federal Reserve Chairman, and Richard Branson, who's also quite a character. So, like I said, this was more just to throw some facts out there. You folks are welcome to double check on anything. Document Cloud has almost all the FBI documents released. I'll put some links up in the description, or I'll post some article links and document links on the Google Plus page. I just kind of wanted to pile on top of what Press Reset Earth already did, and we'll go from there. I think I'm getting all my Epstein information together. I think I'll do some more on him here coming up in the near future, but we just need to get Trump out of the way now. I'm so tired of hearing people say that he's just saying the things that other people won't say. I believe he's saying them because Clintons are telling him to. So if you have any comments, any feedback, any other information on this you'd like to share, please feel free to comment, and thank you guys for your time.